Today we're going to review the Marlin XL7. The Marlin XL7 comes with a black synthetic stock. I purchased this stock from Boyd's. The Marlin comes in the 3 different calibers. The calibers in which it comes in are 25-06, 270 Winchester, and 30-06. The barrel length is 22 inches. Their overall length is 42.5 inches long. And it's weighing in at 6.5 pounds without the scope. The MSRP is $300. The combo that I bought came with a scope and I paid $325 with it. The scope that it originally came with was absolutely horrible, so I replaced it with this Leopold. The twist rate is 1 in 10. The original stock comes pillar bedded. This one is glass bedded. The screws in this stock base kept on working themselves out, so I had to go in there and add Loctite to prevent that from happening. Since then, I have not had that issue. The original black synthetic stock recoil pad was a much better recoil pad than this Boyd stock. The bolt release on the Marlin XL7 could not be simpler. It's just like what you would find on the Winchester Model 70. All you're going to do is slide the bolt, push the lever, slide the bolt right out. And again, the Marlin's XL7 Profire trigger is very similar to Savage's Acro trigger. It's adjustable down to 2.5 pounds. The major difference is the Profile trigger has 2 bolts that bolt directly into the receiver. Major issue I found with this trigger is there's creep before you can fire. I found that if you can pull up the creep right before it breaks and then finish with the trigger pull, your groups will be considerably smaller. There's a very simple trick to disassemble your bolt. Once your bolt is cocked, there's a slight hole right here, and you want to slide an Allen wrench through. You want to barely slide it through to the other side so it does not get stopped by your safety. Release the bolt, slide it out, then you want to unscrew this counterclockwise. Yes, you'll just push through. And there you go. You won't need to do that often. Line your ejector up with the bolt handle, and you need that hole to go through. Push that in and that'll slide right in. You take this, screw it in clockwise, There you go. On grouping with this rifle at 100 yards, I found that it's very particular about the ammunition you can shoot. 120 grains, 100 yards, the largest grouping 2.3, smallest is 0.85, and the average is about 1.7. That's inches. With that light of a bullet, I was getting keyhoeing. It was not able to keep that round stable. 150 grain, largest grouping 2.6 inches. 0.95 was the best. On average, about a 2-inch grouping. 168 grain, which I shoot most often, is a 2.5 inch grouping on the large side. The smallest is a 0.4, average is about 1.5 inches. 180 grain, large side is about 2.8 inches. Smallest is 1.3 inches, on average about a 2-inch grouping. You can expect to have about a 1.5 MOA. That's 1.5 inches at 100, 3 at 200, and so forth. The biggest issue is I cannot get a consistent group from this rifle. So one day I might get a 0.4 inch grouping, come back a week later and get a 2-inch grouping. I do bring other rifles with me at the range, and I do get a consistent grouping with those. So it's not me just having an off day. Weather condition plays a part in this rifle, slight variance. I have shot both bought ammo and reloaded ammo. I do reload quite a bit, so that's what I run through there most of the time. For this rifle, I find that it takes a slow burning powder with like a CCI primer and a heavy bullet. The powder I need maxed out, so that's what I've ran across so far with this, and I've had it for going on 4 years now. Pros on this rifle is definitely the price. For the price range, it's very competitive. It's a very good hunting rifle. I do take this hunting. This is what I take out to the woods to hunt. I'm not real concerned about taking it out to the woods, mainly because of the price on this. Cons on this rifle is it's very difficult to find aftermarket products. So if I wanted a new trigger, a new barrel, and so forth like that, it's going to be very difficult to find. Consistent shooting, like I was telling you with the groupings, I cannot get a consistent group out of this. I cannot say every time I go to this rifle it's a 1 MOA or 1.25 MOA or a 4-inch grouping at 100 yards. And the last con is very picky about ammo. I've read a lot of articles and forums on this rifle, and you'll hear from the exact same rifle, exact same caliber, different people saying their rifle loves either extremely heavy, hot loads, or extremely light, and anywhere between. So when it comes to reloading data on this rifle and the twist, I find that it does not apply. You're going to have to go through and test until you find a bought ammo that it likes or a load that you're happy with. One of the irritants about this rifle is the scope base and how you have to load ammunition. So you're going to have to take a round, put it in there, and push down. There's no injection plate or there's no magazine. With this, I wish it had a 2-base scope base, but it's one solid piece and it covers. So if you are left-handed, I can see it being very difficult to load your magazine. With all being said, could I recommend this rifle? And it all falls back to how you plan to use it. Do you plan to take this rifle hunting once or twice a year? If that's the case, then this is a wonderful rifle. If you want to go bench rest shooting with this rifle, you'll be very agitated with it. It's not meant for that. If you want to shoot long range with this rifle, I would not do that. Not with the grouping and the inconsistency that I receive. Could you shoot 300 yards? Yes. I take this out to 200, 250 all the time. And I shoot gongs at it, 7-inch gongs. Have no issues with that. 300, 400, 500 yards, I would not take this rifle out there. Does not mean I would not take a Marlin XL7, because some of them are very accurate, but this one is not. If you only have $300 to spend on a rifle, this is a very good option. But if you're looking for sub MOA bench rest shooting, then you're going to have to spend more money to achieve that. Get you a Remington 700, and you can purchase aftermarket accessories and barrels and triggers and add to it over time to make it that bench rest shooter that you want.